Refocus, bitch. Here.
Maybe that's what I look like. Maybe I'm blurry like that and you're just not
You're
paying
not
attention.
fucking blurry like that. Come on now.
You don't even wear glasses.
Hey everyone, this new episode, welcome.
Y'all, he fought and said he could speak English just fine. That's his English.
Welcome to this new episode of So I Married a Geek, the show where we invite you into our lives and our adventures, our lessons learned. I am Gavin, and this is...
The dog wrangler. Come on, dog. There's room for you now.
She got all butt hurt because, you know, she's being a dog.
Because I'm in her seat.
Anyways, so this is Phil and dog. That's dog.
They couldn't tell.
Yeah, we didn't have a show last Friday because we got our booster shot, and it wasn't as bad as the first rounds of shots, but it was still hard.
It hit me harder than it hit you.
Yeah, I was okay. Like, I got a lot of chills, and then tired, and then headache, then chills, then tired, then headache, and then I was fine. Woke up Saturday like, doop, 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 let's do shit. Like, and he was like,
That's what I said too.
That's exactly what he said. Y'all just don't know. So, yeah, that's why we didn't do a show last week. And so we're going to pick up today talking about what we were going to talk about last Friday, which is Phil's obsession with ancient astronaut theorists.
I love ancient aliens. It's so much fun.
So, if you don't know what Ancient Aliens is, what is Ancient Aliens?
It's a show.
About?
Ancient aliens.
Doing what?
It's the theory that mankind evolved the way that we did because we had assistance from we had intervention from aliens from other worlds who helped us to develop from basically nonverbal hominids into what we are today.
Isn't a hominid a bean? Isn't it?
No.
You say we evolved from a bean. Oh, a hominy.
That's hominy.
That's a bean.
That's not a bean. Hominy is corn.
Okay, it's a vegetable. I was at least close, y'all.
And it's the idea that they have come back and visited us throughout the millennia.
But they only take rednecks and cows. Go figure.
No, if you look, like, as long as we've been able to draw and as long as we've been able to record history, we've drawn pictures of things coming out to visit us from the sky, and we've written down events that only could be, or that could be explained as a visitor from another world. There's a picture of George Washington with what looks like a spaceship above him. There's a picture that was drawn in the Renaissance period that's like the Virgin Mary holding a baby with a spaceship in the background. Like,
So Jesus was an alien, y'all.
It would explain why he was better than the rest of us.
I love this fact. I didn't know this fact when we got together because, you know, I 100% agree. This universe is too big for us to be doing things here, and life can take the form of a single bacteria to an advanced civilization.
Yeah, it's just, whenever I argue with people who insist that it's just not possible, anytime infinity is a factor of your equation and we're in an infinite universe, then that means just about anything is possible. So in all of the trillions of galaxies that we have been able to observe, why would you assume life only developed here? But it's kind of human arrogance. We like to think that we're so special and that we're so unique that nothing else could possibly exist in the universe like us. And really, y'all, we're not that special. Like, on this planet, we're just one little tiny group of life. But as far as we're concerned, the entire planet's designed just for us. But it's not.
It is. Yeah, no, I agree with you. Like, the shows are really fun to watch because they do have interesting theories, but nobody takes these motherfuckers for real.
Especially homeboy with the vacuum hair. Like,
yeah, like,
if you look like you've spent all morning with a vacuum sucking the hair on your head to stand out like that, no one's going to listen to what you have to say.
And it's sad because it could be. Like, have you ever seen a UFO?
No.
I have. course, I'm a redneck, so of course I have. Um,
I was missing that prerequisite.
I remember when I was a kid at the house on Blythewood. It was at night, and I had my window open. My bed was by the window, and the neighbor would come out, and he would always say, "Hey," because my window looked right at their carport. And he'd come out with his wife, and they were getting stuff out of the car, and things got real quiet, and then there's this black shape flew by overhead, completely silent. And we both saw it. So it's like, and then one day we were driving down 969, and just this random thing looked like it just crashed into the ground, and it was like, what the fuck was that? And he goes, UFO. We weren't the only ones who saw it, y'all. Like, it was completely bizarre. But yeah, I think there could be some realistic aspects behind it. But, you know.
The point where I see, it's a fun thought experiment. And it's fun to imagine and to go through the motions and be like, oh, well, what would that be like? And what would that mean? And how interesting would that be? The reason they get such a bad rap, and I'm going to go back to Homeboy with the vacuum head, is he always takes it too far and says it can mean nothing else but ancient aliens. And that is where you lose people, because if you're taking people with breadcrumbs and you're trying to get them to follow a story, and then immediately you throw the cage door behind them and like, now you're trapped in this theory. Nobody wants to listen to you at that point because you just sound absolutely fucking insane. But if you go through it and you're watching and you listen and you look at the evidence and the things that they try to find, like if you look at Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Daniken, like he didn't know this when he met me, but when I was a kid, even though my mother was a staunch hardcore Catholic, downstairs she had a copy of Chariots of the Gods, and upstairs in her bedroom she had a copy of Chariots of the Gods. So I read that book several times when I was a kid, and I just thought it was the most interesting, like, well, nobody had ever thought of it from this perspective kind of story. And so that's why Ancient Aliens always grabbed me, was I read that book over and over as a child, and there were so many things about human history where you could look at it and say, huh, that really could have been caused by someone from another world. Like, how come all the cultures from around the world that never met each other designed their architecture in similar ways? And how come all of them drew similar images?
Math.
Yeah, how come they all were able to come up with those same concepts, but they never met each other?
But then some civilizations were still behind.
Like rednecks.
Okay, if that's how you want to put it. But so my own, like, I think it's this fascinating. I like watching the shows, but I have the same problem with these people as I have with the people who are Bible beaters. My problem with the people with the Bible beaters are, if God was such a perfect being, wouldn't he know that he should be seen now when times are more dire, instead of back in the day when things were just kind of okay? And then secondly, when it comes to aliens, if you were showing yourself back then, why not show yourself now?
Who says they aren't, though? And if you listen to ancient alien theorists, it's because the government and the Illuminati have an agreement with them not to reveal themselves, because they're allowed to kidnap a certain number of people a year and do whatever they want with them.
Well, I think maybe it could be because we've come to the point where this will literally rock the core foundation of most people's faith.
I think more than anything, religion would be what would destroy us if we found out that for sure aliens exist. Because for most people who aren't like psychotically religious, it would be like, oh yeah, we always kind of suspected. But people who can't accept that there is anything except what's written in the Bible would lose their fucking minds. And that would be the meltdown of that part of society. And I've never understood the idea, like, I don't know why you would want to imagine that in the infinite space, in this infinite cosmos, we are the only things that live. Like, why? That would be the saddest, most depressing thing in the world.
It's a comfort factor to people, I think.
To me, it wouldn't be comforting, because that means when we go extinct, the entire universe is now devoid of life.
Yeah, but see, also people are, because they think life is just walking around advanced civilizations. Like I said, it could be bacteria. It could be a small plant, small animal.
Yeah, you know, Neil deGrasse Tyson said in one of his books, and it was something that blew my mind, but he said that all of us are universes unto ourselves, because if you think about it, in like a quarter centimeter of your small intestine, there are more bacteria than humans who've ever lived on the face of this earth. And that's just a quarter centimeter of it. So technically, we're a universe unto ourselves. And when you think about the possibilities of the multiverse and just everything else that comes with this sort of thought experiment and where it takes you, the universe could be a really exciting and fun place. And it's just, there's endless ways to think about what could be. But for some reason, we are perfectly content to only think that we're the most important thing, we're the only special thing. Like they love to say that humans are the only ones who speak. But scientists will tell you that other animal species do speak and have language and talk to each other. We won't call it language because we can't understand it. But that doesn't mean it isn't language. Like if you look at like whales, the way they communicate with one another.
Well, it's the dog. She talks to the dog across the street through the fence.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure she's like, hey bitch, stay away from my yard. Like that's about as
And their
much
dog's
as
like, I'm not in your yard, bitch!
That's about as much as they say to each other. But like whales,
They're like friends. They yell. They just yell at each other from across the street.
for real, our dog's like, what's up, Essa? But yeah, it's really sad. It's really sad that we like to imagine we're the only intelligent species on this planet because we're the ones who've developed language, which some of us don't really use correctly and continue to abuse on a daily basis. We think that makes us special, but we're not. And in reality, long after we're gone, other species on this planet will still live. Because the reality is humans can't live forever. We aren't going to. We're going to make the world uninhabitable for ourselves. And no species lives forever. You know what I mean? There are some that have been around hundreds of millions of years and evolved over time into what they are today. We're not going to do that. We're going to reach the point where we can't survive on what's left to breathe, and we can't survive with the amount of solar radiation we're getting, and we can't survive because there's nothing left for us to drink. We're not that hardy a species.
She was staring at the wall again.
She's listening to the dishwasher.
Anyways, Aliens. It's a great show. It's fun to watch.
And don't get me wrong, y'all, there are some episodes where it just gets ridiculous. Like, I find it silly that they like to go from, like, religion to religion to religion and be like, did the Vikings know? What about the ancient Greeks? What about the Egyptians? And it's always like, look, Odin, he had one eye, and that must be technology for the other eye that could see everything on the planet. Shut the fuck up. They made up stories to make themselves feel better. But they all did talk about visitors from other worlds coming in. That's where you should focus. Don't focus on their mythology necessarily, because we all have mythology. Christians have mythology. Greeks, Romans, Egyptians, they all have mythologies. Any religion that tells you stories to try to make you behave in a particular way is using mythology to control your behavior. But look culturally at what they wrote down as what they consider to be history, and that's where you see the interesting overlap of what the Maya saw, and the Inca saw, and the Egyptians saw, and the Greeks saw, and the people in Turkey saw. Like, that's where it gets super fascinating. And the architecture around the world, and the fact that people in South America never met people from India or Thailand, but their architecture looks very similar from thousands of years ago. That's where it's really interesting and really cool. Not looking at the stories they made up. And I guess some of them have a little bit of interesting side, like they all talk about a great flood. But that doesn't mean that, to me that just means that at some point there was this huge flood that affected the whole world and all of us talked about it. But that's a global event. That doesn't explain the overlaps in, like I said, architecture and design, and the belief that they all saw something come from the sky, that landed and spoke to them individually. Those are the things that are really fun to think about and experiment with in your head. I just like thought experiments.
He does, and I'm going to agree with it. So, that's been our episode today. We hope you guys have enjoyed talking about ancient aliens with us.
He likes thought experiments like, how can I destroy English today? I wonder.
It works. It's still a thought experiment, bitch. No matter how you look at it, it is a thought experiment.
Only in the sense that you have to think hard about how you're going to destroy the language.
That's still thinking, don't... Anyways, make sure you like and subscribe wherever you're watching. Subscribe. It's the biggest thing. We want to see y'all watching our shows every day. Cause
And comments, we like comments.
Yeah, we release episodes weekdays at noon.
Y'all can tell me I'm crazy for liking Ancient Aliens. It's fine. I've heard it from a million
Or if you're
people.
an alien, tell me where the hell you've been. Not like the illegal type, but like the space kind, which I guess would be illegal as well.
And I'm not going to use his name, and you're not going to use his name either, but I have a friend who's very convinced he is an alien from another planet. I don't give a fuck. I love him. We have fun. We hang out. We talk about what it would be like if we both were. This motherfucker makes fun of him for it. But hey, if you are one, let us know. That would be interesting too. Shut up. Don't look at me in that tone of voice.
We'll see you guys later this week as we are filming our reality show. It's starting to shape up. It'll be lots of fun.
As Gavin grips with his ability to play Not Sega every day.
You want to start this right now? I don't fucking think so. We're done with this episode. We'll see you guys on the next episode of fucking So I Married a Geek.
So he
Thank
married
you
a
guys.
Not Sega player.
Fuck you, bitch.